And now another edition of Traveling with Paul Lasley and Elizabeth Harriman. Every edition of Traveling with Paul Lasley and Elizabeth Harriman airs weekdays on the American Forces Network in countries around the world. Each show is also available as a podcast at ontravel.com and at iTunes. Just use the keyword OnTravel. Here's Paul and Elizabeth.
And welcome to Traveling. I'm Elizabeth Harriman here with Paul Lasley. And okay, if you're not staying in a hotel, you're traveling, but you're maybe staying in an Airbnb or some other home sharing service, and you arrive in the city, well, too early to check in, or maybe you have a late plane and you have to check out from your Airbnb or other abode, but you have a long wait, but for the time you have to get to the airport, and you want to do a little sightseeing. What do you do with your luggage? Well, if you were staying at a hotel, no problem. They have a bell service desk. You arrive a little early for your check-in. You just check your bags with the bellman or the bell person, and you go about sightseeing and come back when your room is ready. Well, there has been a solution to the problem if you're staying at an Airbnb, and that is something called LuggageHero. And we have with us today the founder of the Luggage Hero, I guess you would say, Yannick Lawaetz. Yannick, welcome to Traveling.
Thank you.
Now, I guess
Thank you very much.
All of us who travel a great deal have always been faced with this issue of what to do with the luggage. You know, many times your schedule just doesn't follow what the reality is. And you came up with this idea, I guess, several years ago. I'm guessing I know how you did it, but I want to ask you for our listeners, how did you become the Luggage Hero?
Oh, yeah, thank you very much, Paul. I think that's an excellent question, and you're not the only one who have kind of guessed how I found out how the Luggage Hero would be. But yes, I actually traveled a lot back when I didn't have kids, and I traveled a lot with my girlfriend, and we started staying in different accommodations. We booked through Airbnb or Booking.com, and it wasn't hotels. We would like to stay more local, but it was always the same procedure. We would have to carry our luggage around for waiting to check into the apartment, or on the day of departure, we were just stuck with it. So we were sitting there at a nearby Starbucks or cafe and just scrolling Facebook for the entire day and not much of the sightseeing.
Yes.
So that
Stuck
kind
in
of bothered
Starbucks
me
again.
a lot.
So go ahead.
Very much. Yeah, so actually it didn't really resonate to me until I found an Airbnb host who suggested me to convince a local shop to keep it. And I was so eager to convince this local shop, even though I couldn't speak the same language, I convinced a local Spanish shop to keep my luggage. But with like all the hand signals that I have and in writing and so on, I ended up convincing this poor guy about keeping this huge piece of luggage in his small shop. And it was success. I went out for once and had a really great day, last sightseeing day in Barcelona, together with my girlfriend, and the luggage happened to be there when I got back, which was a success story. Yeah.
Yes,
Always a good thing.
Yes, connecting with your luggage again. Isn't that for anybody who travels a great deal, one of the great moments in life is reconnecting with your luggage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so strange, isn't it? And I mean, there's a lot of our customers. I mean, we've had a lot of customers through this platform. A lot of the reviews are, I was a little bit suspicious in the beginning, but got my luggage back. I was thrilled. I was excited. I was relieved. I was everything, and I would use it again. That's what our more than 20,000 reviews have been for.
and you probably had the first shop that agreed to hold on to luggage for you. And I that's so important, because it used to be years ago, I've heard, because I really never experienced it, you could check your luggage in railway stations and trains, and airports and things like that. And then with security an issue, that sort of went by the wayside. And I think, Switzerland is the only country where you can do this. You can check if you're going on the train or the plane, you can just give Swiss Rail your luggage and it magically shows up in your destination. But I don't think that works in most countries. The thing that seems so important to me is that these shops that you've contracted with to hold on to luggage are everywhere. And that makes it a very easy, convenient service.
Well, so, and Yannick, how many cities around the world are you in now? And what are some of the main cities where you can check your luggage?
Some of the main cities are New York City and London, and we have Boston, Chicago, San Francisco, Miami, and a few more European big ones like Rome and Paris. We have on the map as well. So it's all in all at this moment it's 22 major cities we have. And at the end of this year, it's approximately 40 cities that we will be live in.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, how does this work? I guess sort of give us the instructions to how to use LuggageHero, because it's a little different than you might think, and I think it's much more convenient than you might think.
Yeah, sure. First of all, you need to know about the service in order to use it, and that's one of my main jobs, right? So, sometimes we even hear in some of the reviews we have on the platform that why don't you advertise this more? I've been on this city 1 year, and you've been around for 2 years, and I'm really having a hassle with this luggage. But that's another story. But that's what we're kind of doing right now, right? No, you need to know about the service. You go into luggagehero.com and you will immediately be met with a search bar where you can search any city available. And you put in near me now, or you put in the address where you are heading to, and it will instantly show you locations around you. For big cities like New York, we have more than 100 listings, so it should be possible to find a shop nearby where you head. If you sign up a user, you can actually just ask for the directions to the shop, and Google Maps will direct you right to the shop. And once you have arrived at the shop, you will be handed a LuggageHero protection seal. We call it a security seal. It's put on the luggage through the zippers, and it helps that no one has tampered with the luggage while it's stored in the shop. You start the luggage timer on your phone, and you just go out and you sightsee. That's like the main components of this. Once you get back, you stop the luggage timer, and you get your bag. Yeah.
Is there ever a time when, like, an employee in the shop maybe doesn't know that it's a LuggageHero destination, and are most employees at these places, briefed on how to do it?
Yeah, it's an excellent question. In the beginning, we were actually really dependent on the shops knowing a lot about the platform. They were actually performing the start storage timer thing from their device. We've then figured out later that we should make it more simple so the customer would do everything on their own. And the only thing the shop was obligated to do is handing out these security seals. So, it's not a complicated process, and most employees in the shop would know about it because we do send a lot of customers through. And it's not that complicated. So, but we do happen to hear stories about one person standing in the shop didn't know about the service, but then they kind of figure it out anyway. It works out in the end.
Well, you've had really a rather burgeoning success with this. Over 1 million hours of storage, or is that 1 million people, or 1 million luggage things, or whatever? How's the company doing?
Yeah, I think we're doing great. I mean, we're controlling most of it from our European office in Copenhagen, where we have some really skilled developers and account managers. And at this point, we're nearly 15 people at the office. And as you just said, we hit a major milestone 2 months ago when we crossed the 1 million hours of storage, which means a lot to us because that 1 million equals the amount of hours that we freed up someone's time. So I can't stop thinking about the hours I spent sitting at a Starbucks scrolling Facebook while I could be outside seeing. So, I mean, now I've freed up 1 million and we're well ahead of the mission of getting to 2 million soon. So, I mean, it's growing fast now, really fast.
And how much does it cost to store the luggage?
So we made it very simple and fair, I think. It costs either $1, €1, or £1 to store it per hour per bag. And then we have a startup fee, a handling fee, which is €2, $2 or £2 per bag, which covers the full insurance, which is $3,000 per bag, and the security seal as well. So I think it's a pretty good deal.
It's a very good deal, and it encourages, following our mantra, less is more. Always pack less stuff than you think you need. So, you will save money by traveling with fewer bags, and then you can keep track of your bags much easier, too.
Yes, yes, and I think it's like a daily, you have a daily maximum, is that right?
Yeah, so it's to give peace of mind to someone who would think, oh my God, this will run loose or something like that. So we set it in as a cap at $8 or €8 or £8 to just have ease of mind. Correct.
Well, now, do some of these shops have amenities? For instance, like in Spain, do they perhaps serve horchata or in the winter hot chocolate, something like that? Or churros?
Yes. Well, I guess that's one advantage of being one of your shops that offers this service is that as people check their luggage, they might browse in the shop and might bring them business. Or do some of the outlets find that that's happening?
Sure. I mean, that was one of the strongest arguments I had started it in Copenhagen. I just went by these local shops in Copenhagen and asked, would they be willing to have some really powerful buying group coming indoor, like the Airbnbs? And they were all excited about it and asked me, how much should I pay to be part of this? And I was like, no, this way. I would actually have the customers pay you to store luggage here. They will come into you. They will actually stop by you, go into the other. So that's the big drivers being part of LuggageHero, that you're actually really good customers coming in.
Well, the other thing, of course, is I must ask you, since we're talking about Copenhagen, is there an open-faced sandwich shop that one can frequent, or perhaps a bakery or something like that, where you could get a little cream cake while your luggage is being stored?
We have a lot of jobs on our platform, but not particularly sure if you get that.
It's LuggageHero.com, that's the website?
Just wait for it, LuggageHero.com, yeah.
Yannick, I think Skype is fighting us, or sunspots, or perhaps global internet problems. I have no idea, but you're breaking up, and I know we're breaking up. You can't hear us as well. Let's end this, but Elizabeth and I will talk more about this based on your press release that you sent out, which is very good. And of course, Diane Daniels is a good friend, and we're in contact with her. And we're so grateful for her sending us to you, or sending you to us. I don't know which. Let's, if we could, do an update on this, maybe in the fall, sometime, in October, something like that.
So the website is LuggageHero.com. And Yannick, Lawaetz, thank you so much for being with us on Traveling.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for being with us. You're traveling on the American Forces Network and at ontravel.com. I'm Elizabeth Harriman here with Paul Lastly. We'll be right back.
Well, Elizabeth, that was really interesting.
Yes, and interviewing the luggage hero made me think about the fact that, there are trends in luggage. For instance, there was the whole trend to wheeled luggage, and got us to thinking about, well, what are some of the questions you need to ask yourself when you're about to buy luggage? And one of them is wheels or no wheels. We were among the last converts to wheeled luggage. Remember, we wanted no wheels for a long time.
Well, and in fact, the way we travel in Europe, and especially going into train stations and that type of thing, there aren't a lot of elevators. The easiest and simplest way to travel is up the stairs. And in fact, I was recently in Disneyland, and it was amazing that now they do have their completely ADA compatible and everything, and there are elevators everywhere. But for the mass movement of people, they have a lot of stairs. You go up to something, and then you come down. And I thought, boy, if you had to carry your own luggage, you wouldn't have wheels.
Well, we finally did convert to wheels, and we got really solid wheeled luggage from the people who make them for pilots. And so
Strong Bag.
Wonderful name. Don't you love that name? Strong Bag. And but now it is so much easier for long walks through airport hallways and around town. So we are a convert to wheels. The next question.
Up to a point.
Oh, up to a point, yes. If we're driving and staying in motels, we go back to no wheels. And the next question, though, you have to ask yourself is, do you want soft-sided luggage or hard-sided luggage? Well, if you're going to check luggage, I would go with hard-sided, right?
Well, absolutely. And in fact, when we check luggage, and know we are doing it, we check our Pelican shipping cases, because luggage is luggage, if it has a space to put stuff in. And why not use Pelican, which is the absolute strongest luggage that we know of? And they actually even have a consumer brand of luggage. I have a Pelican rollerboard in a very stylish shade of purple.
You get lots of stairs with that luggage. It is beautiful, but it is solid and it's waterproof. So now that's a carry-on, but if you're checking luggage, we would tend, and we almost never check luggage, but when we do, yes, we do hard-sided, but soft-sided, if you're not checking luggage, if you're carrying on, is better because it's stuffable, whether it's under the seat in front of you or even into the overhead. So if you're going to carry it on, I would say soft-sided. Now, the next question is briefcase or backpack for your second carry-on bag.
Well, I was a long time proponent of a shoulder bag. I just carried this shoulder bag, 21 pounds, and then I realized I was sort of tilting. There was no wind out. So I realized that there are some advantages to backpacks because you carry them balanced on your body, both shoulders, and they are really quite roomy. And I think you can carry more stuff more comfortably with a backpack than you ever could with a shoulder bag.
I'm a convert to backpacks as well. They're so comfortable, and I don't get tired. My back doesn't get tired. It helps you balance more. So for the smaller bag, I really am a convert. Now, here's the thing. I mentioned earlier that there are trends in luggage. We actually, for a story for Westways, the magazine that we write for, we interviewed Michelle Pittenger, who is with the Travel Goods Association. They do a big travel goods showcase, consumer show I guess it's industry and consumer show every year, where they show you the latest luggage and the latest trends in luggage. Do you know there are trends in the colors of luggage?
Yes, because the people that we know who make arguably the best soft-sided luggage on earth, Red Ox in Billings, Montana, they have started coming out. Jim Markle has coming out with bright colors, teal and blue and things like that, which for Jim, whose world as an ex-Marine rigger was largely what, green marine.
Yes. Well, those are bright colors for him. But actually, this year, gold and metallics will be hard to miss this year. And
This is according to the Travel Goods Association.
according to Michelle Pittenger, and look for sparkle on baggage carousels. But that's not the biggest trend. Do you know what the very biggest trend is?
I hesitate to think.
Transparent luggage.
Oh, so the world can see what you're packing. Isn't that the ultimate status symbol? Look at me. I have all these expensive clothes.
Well, what first comes to my mind is, yeah, they see what you have, and then thieves know what they want to steal. But also, if you're not a terribly neat packer, they see all your clutter and your jumble, and then which, that would be me. I don't want people seeing, that I'm not the best luggage housekeeper. But that is a big trend. It's very solid polycarbonate, but it's a see-through. And the other interesting trend in luggage?
I hesitate to think.
There's a trend back to wheelless.
Wheels.
I mean, no,
wheelless. Of course.
Yeah. So we were ahead of the curve after all. Who knew? But what it is, the overhead luggage bins are getting so crowded with all that wheeled luggage, and many airlines charge extra, like to put for carry-on luggage. Spirit, for instance, I think will allow you a bag if it will fit under the seat in front of you. And with some of these super economy class fares, they don't include a carry-on luggage that you can fit in the overhead. So whatever you bring on has to fit in the seat in front of you. So, and almost no luggage with wheels will do that. So there is a trend back to wheelless. Who knew?
Well, it's all about making money at the end of the day. The airlines, of course, are making billions of dollars with these fees for luggage and seats and all of that. And I don't mind the fee for luggage, strangely enough, because it costs them money to fly that luggage. Luggage weighs, and weight in an airliner translates into cost.
Yes, it does. So I don't begrudge them that, but yeah, they make an awful lot of money with those extra fees. But in terms of luggage, I mean, we almost always carry on, and whether you're carrying on or checking, it is still a good idea to travel light.
Absolutely, and no matter where you're going, whatever you're doing, whenever you're packing, remember that you're the one that has to hold that luggage. You're the one that has to carry it a mile through a long airport corridor, or you're the one who has to put it over your head into the luggage bin above your seat. So just remember, be able to do that. And if you can't do that, check luggage.
Yes, and whatever luggage you choose. Here's the other thing that Michelle Pittenger said. Before you buy luggage, because you can order almost anything online these days, but you really should test your luggage in person. Go visit it at a store and try it out. See how the handles feel in your hands. See how what the texture is like. See if you really like it in person.
See if you can pack neatly enough to have transparent luggage.
That's right. Well, thank you for joining us today on Traveling. I'm Elizabeth Harriman.
I'm Paul Lashley.
Travel safely.
Join Paul and Elizabeth at any time, since each episode of Traveling is available as a podcast on iTunes, keyword on travel, and at ontravel.com. You can join the global community on Twitter and Facebook at OnTravel Media, and you can email at traveling@ontravel.com. Your suggestions for show topics and comments are always welcome. Join us next time on the American Forces Network and at ontravel.com. I'm Fred Sater.